wonderful day. I don't know where you are. The weather is beautiful. God has blessed us. We are still living. We are among the living. I don't think any one of us who is breathing right now have any cause to complain. So we thank God for his goodness. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about life, about the goodness of God, the kindness of God that we sometimes don't even deserve. So thank you so much for joining me. Today is going to be a very wonderful and a special show. So thank you once again. You want to share it, don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you share it. If you are in a group, just tag in a group. Okay, you can do watch party. You can invite all your friends, because today I'm going to talk to my own. I mean, can you imagine me sitting here, have a wonderful, wonderful young lady who just turned 18, so beautiful. And she's a senior, and all that is going on, I want to go into their world to find out what exactly they are feeling, because this year was very, very interesting, and it's still, but God has been good. So please share the video, tag somebody to come in. That will be a blessing. I will try to share my video, okay? So tag your friends to come in, share it to all the pages that you are on, and it's just going to be a blessing to somebody today. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you all my viewers, those of you who have been viewing from England, from Ghana, from India, all over the world. I'm very, very, very grateful. And I just want to use today as a great opportunity to say thank you very much for your continued support, sharing the video, tagging your friends to come in. It has been a blessing. So once again, please do me a big, big favor and share it for me. Tag your friends to come in, and it's going to be a blessing. It's going to be a blessing. So once again, thank you so much. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, you are crappy. How are you?
I'm good.
You are good?
Yeah.
Is your mic on?
I think so.
Okay, so please, can you speak louder so our audience can understand you?
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, thank you so, so much. Welcome to Woman of Influence. So, your mom has been hosting this show for a while. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I'm so proud of how far you've come with this show and everything. Your platform has become very big. And it's also very nice to have a social media influencer as a mom.
Oh, thank you so much. Your mic, I don't know, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Is it on? Tap it, let me see. It's not.
Okay. Now it's on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's you, please. Yeah. Just relax. Just relax. Just make sure that people are hearing you, because that's why we are here. So thank you. Once again, please share the video for me. If you have a teenager, okay, if you have a young, no teenager, a young child in the house, let them listen to this, because I think that we're going to touch on some things that will help, especially seniors. If you have any senior, okay, who around this time they couldn't graduate, it was just last week we have to drive and pick her diploma. I mean, what kind of sad incident is it? But in all, Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. So if you have any senior, please let them watch. I think it will really encourage them. So once again, thank you so much. So Uriel, how do you feel about missing prom? That was something else, because I mean, we prepared, in months about prom, how you are going to go. Your dress was made, very beautiful dress and everything, and it didn't come on. So how do you feel about that?
Honestly, it was very crazy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was.
Do we have to change your mic?
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay.
Because I'm going in and out.
Okay, so then we have to change. Can we please change her mic for her?
Yes, you.
Thank you so much. I don't know. Yeah. hate normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to change the mic. Talk like you're talking to your friends.
Okay.
Just
Thank you.
okay.
Well, for me, it was my friends. We planned to go in a limo.
Mm-hmm.
Our prom was in the Georgia Depot,
Okay.
or in Atlanta. And at first, I mean, we weren't particularly happy where our prom was. So we weren't really excited about it, but we still wanted to go. We had plans to take beautiful pictures at IKEA because there was no place to take pictures around. And we just really planned our way for the prom.
Okay.
And when school shut down, we thought we were going to be back in 2 weeks. Like
That was the whole thing.
everything.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to be back, but then sooner or later, some states had to restart their year. And, you know, Gwinnett is very headstrong, so I thought we were going to come back. But then the governor shut down schools indefinitely, and then I realized I wasn't going to see some of my friends again because this is our last year.
Yeah, and what really was very interesting was, you know, you couldn't even have the opportunity to say, to your friends, oh, bye-bye, you know, because it was like a sudden thing, you know, so you couldn't even tell your friend, oh, okay, this is the last day or anything. It just happened and you just have to stop school thinking you'll go back. What about the seniors' activities?
The senior activities, all of them were like canceled. I think they refunded our senior dues. We were supposed to have senior week, which is like a week at our school dedicated to seniors where you can dress up. Sometimes there would be senior pranks and stuff. So, you know, just like it's that we dedicated that you've been here for 4 years and now it's going to pay off and now you can just like chill and just have fun.
Yeah.
We didn't get to do that. We didn't have our senior dinner, our senior trip. So, like, all of that was kind of flushed down the drain with quarantine.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, but one of the things that was very, very interesting is the graduation, you know, that day. Because then you have families coming. I know grandma was coming from New York. So you have family, auntie was coming from Philly. So you have people that have even put on their calendar, you know, to come and celebrate the success of that you have achieved. And graduation also didn't come on. That was a huge thing. How do you feel?
Well, for me, graduation is more for the family and the parents. I was just happy I was getting my diploma.
Okay.
But I'm also kind of envious of my friends who graduated before me because they got to walk across the stage and throw their victory stance and everything. And I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to go to the Infinite Energy Center to do my graduation. But, you know, it is what it is. You live and you learn. I mean, we're a very unique graduation class. I mean, we got a speech from Obama, so that was nice. And Michelle Obama, too. Also very nice. Love that. So, I mean, it was kind of surreal. It doesn't really sink in until you're wearing your cap and gown in your house.
Yes. And those are the things that I want us to touch on, okay? Because you don't know what somebody is feeling. Somebody is thinking because I didn't walk, you know, the walk that is normal. Because you guys, your graduation wasn't normal, okay? So the emotional aspect of the whole thing, do you think it will really impact you guys, your future? Or it's just something that it has happened, so we just have to.
I know.
Yeah.
It affected some people more than most. Me, I was just chilling. I was letting this like go through.
Okay.
I mean, like, I was just excited to be done with everything. Some people were like seriously depressed because I know my friend, she planned everything down to the T for her prom. She was going to get all her family from like across the world to come to her graduation, and all of that was put on stop. So I guess it affected more people than most. I was just trying to just finish my virtual school learning so I can get my diploma and be done. Because honestly, this was a fiasco for me.
Yeah, but you will, even when it comes to the virtual learning, that was very, very interesting because, I mean, dealing with blessing, with that, me as a parent was like, oh my God, when is this going to end? You know, it's not the same as classroom, and you don't have the opportunity to even do some of the things again because it was the last of the last. You have to put everything in before you can even get your diploma. How do you feel about that?
Virtual school learning was horrible, honestly. I signed a petition for us to just all get our grades passed because we're seniors, and virtual school learning, it wasn't about really learning. It was about just checklisting, doing what you need to do, and then pass. So you weren't really learning. And second, I just could not, like, the common sense of virtual learning in my house was horrible. Because when you're in school, you have that academic setting that pushes you forward to do your work. Your friends are doing work, you're doing work, we're working together, and we're just getting things done. But in my house, where I just chill and watch Netflix, I was procrastinating. I was pushing it off to the next day. And then before you know it, you're 2 weeks behind on your work and you don't know what to do. And then it just really came to a point in time where you had to look at yourself in the mirror and say that the only person who's stopping you from graduation is yourself. So you really need to do this work.
Yeah, but was it very difficult? You understand, when it comes to, because as you said, the classroom, you have your friends and everything, but home, I mean, just relax. Remember, we were asking you, where have you done your thing, and you continue to say yes. So the teacher will send an email, and it's like, you will.
Yeah,
you know,
so like,
and it's screaming and everything. I mean,
yeah,
how difficult is that?
it was like the work wasn't difficult. It was the willpower to do the work in my house. Like, I'm just like, for me, it was like there was no incentive. At school, oh, I'm going to go walk across the stage. I'm going to get all the accolades and stuff. But in my house, what stage am I walking towards? What am I looking forward to? Like, I was only getting this diploma because I just needed to really go to college. Like, I needed to really put myself, apply myself, and do it. Because if not, I would have still been a senior. Because it was just very hard to really push yourself, especially in your house. And sometimes the teachers will be there in school to push you there. They will do tutoring with you, help you. But, like, when you were in virtual learning, it was just like you were just there and you had to do it yourself. So
yeah, but you were moving forward now. Like all the seniors, you guys are going to college, and in college I learned that nobody is going to be there. Okay, no teacher will even email you and say come to class or going to support you. So if you are not disciplined, you fail your classes, and they will just give you fail. So don't you think that although this stage was not, you guys didn't prepare for it and you didn't plan for it, don't you think there is a benefit in there that will help you moving forward?
Yes, I think this is just kind of like a preview to what you're going to see in college.
Okay.
Because I think this really just kind of threw you in it. It's just you. And you're paying all this money in college to get a degree. So you need to apply yourself, learn good study habits and stuff to just like really get this degree, because it's not going to be your parents looking at your report card anymore. It's not going to be your teachers. Your professors are only there for to get their money to teach and go. It's on you to get the grades that you desire.
Wow. So, okay, there's a question here. Prophetess is asking a question. Say that, Uriel, what is one thing that you want to do as things begin to translate into the way of being?
I would definitely love to go to Six Flags because I was very tired of sitting in the house. Now, the mental like the stages of quarantine, it was like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like you're depressed for like a good few. You go through the stages of grief when you're in quarantine. You went through anger, denial. You get mad.
That
I know.
is it really happening?
I know. I'm like, is this really happening? And I know I lashed at some people in the house because I just kept on seeing their faces every day. And I was just like, I love y'all, but my social battery, I can't see y'all all the time. And then I was also lashing out on mommy, and I know I shouldn't have done that, but it was like we were just here stuck in the house together, so we had to really get through it. And I was like, I'm very happy. They were really my support system. It really pushed me to do work, and I was also working at the time during quarantine,
Yeah.
so I was an essential worker, so that also helped. And I guess I would really love to go to Six Flags, like with my friends and family, and just like have
It's open
fun.
anyway.
Honestly, it is open. I would love
Yeah.
to just, have fun because like quarantine was not it.
Yeah, I know. It was very, very, very interesting. But do you okay, there's another question here. Let me say so Abigail, your sister says that how do you adapt to your online learning? So the digital learning, how do you adapt to it?
I don't think I really did adapted. I just did what I really needed to do.
Okay.
So I just kept on doing what I needed to do. I would like write all the names of the classes that I had, and then I'll cross it off in the day. And I usually get my work done in the morning, so
Okay.
I had free time to do stuff and work later on in the day.
Wow. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you. I'm very, very grateful. Please continue to share the video. Tag somebody to come in. This is your own Victoria Krepi here, woman of influence. And I have the greatest privilege. I can't imagine. I was just thinking this morning that, sometimes I really still remember, most of my growing up, and I really remember even for my teenage, coming into my 20s, I still remember those birthdays. And I still remember being 20, and I still remember, meeting the dad, and now she is here, and she's 18. And I look at myself, and I'm like, God have just been good to me. So it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's a joy, too much joy in my heart to be able to sit down with my own, daughter who is 18 and very smart, very matured, and, just talking. It's just overwhelming. So thank you so much for joining me. Please continue to share the video. Tag somebody to come in. If you have any questions, you are welcome to just ask her, because I know some of you have seniors too, and we happen to have to do the graduation, on our loins. And what kind of life is this? But in all, we just give God the glory that at least we are living to witness this historical event. It's just amazing. So please continue to share the video. Tag somebody to come in. So I have another question here. Mama Caroline says that, how often do you want mom to knock on your door when you move to college? Really, mom? So how often do you want me to come and knock at your door?
Well, mommy, as often as you like. I'm going to be in Ohio, so as often as you would like.
Wow.
Yes, please bring food too. So
Okay.
that would be
So,
really
mom,
nice.
that it's a privilege. So as often as I want, I thank God my America Express is fully loaded now. So hopefully I will be there. I plan to be there at least once a month. God help me. But we will see how it goes. God will give us the grace. But thank you for that question. Please, if you have any more questions, just ask Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for all of watching, and bless you so much. And thank you so much. And if you could see, I have this wonderful custom T-shirt made uh, by one of my daughters. It's just an awesome that she was able to make this T-shirt for Women of Influence. So thank you so much. And if you like it, I mean, you can put a order in. You know, let's continue to support our own. So thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you so much. There's a patient says that she's an example of Christ. Pastor's child. I'm going to ask that question. PK, usually sport, but she's different. And love you, sis. So you have a support from from people. Thank you. Thank you so much again for watching the. You were so, I mean, moving forward. How do you feel about all the things that went on? The learning, the staying home, not having, you know, the graduation, and all those things. Do you think it will have an impact on the future, or it just happened? How do you think about that?
The impact is happening right now.
Okay.
Like, literally right now. Generation Z is making things happen. As you can see outside right now, there's protests going on because we are the generation that was built off the after effects of 9/11.
Okay.
And plus quarantine, not having graduation, there was just like a lot of pent up feelings. And so even when quarantine was released and such a tragedy like this happened outside, we applied all the things that we learned, all the things that we seen, and we went out there to protest. And so now that things are changing, I can see that Generation Z is going to make a huge impact because we're the generation that has like most of the weirdest things happening to us. Quarantine, 9/11.
Yeah.
So like we're all of those are now like just building up, and we are now screaming for change.
Yeah,
So
does it make a mental toughness?
I think yes, we do have a mental toughness. We have a mental toughness when it comes to social problems, but we also had that anxiety problem where we can't go order our own pizza without someone with us. Like there is two sides to that coin. We will be very outspoken to people who cause injustice to us, but we are also kind of shy and awkward in some aspects too.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so we have another question here from our own Miss Nessa. She says that, what advice could you give to the upcoming seniors who may have to start their year off on learning again? I was just telling your daddy, okay, I think yesterday, that the way things are going, it feels like when school is open, this online thing is still kind of going to be hanging in there. Other days is that the children have to go to school for 2 days and do the rest online. I mean, it's something that parents, we have to be thinking about. What advice would you give to a senior that maybe they have to start with that?
I just would like to say, just do your work in the morning and you'll have the rest of the day free. Like, really, like make a list of all the things you need to do, cross it off one by one. And even if you have some time left, do the work the day, like for the rest, the day before and the day after, and then you'll have 2 days free. And so that's also what I did. So like, honestly, and just like talk to your friends too, because when you talk to your friends, like especially on those reading assignments, you're reading it this way and you don't have like another second opinion. Go call your friend and say, did you get this too? And then like discuss, and so you can have two different opinions, and once you come down to like one answer, it's most likely going to be right, because like when you're reading, especially for language arts, there's a whole bunch of different interpretations that you can get, and having a friend there with you makes it much easier to learn.
Easier. So, you know, you said earlier that when you were working from home, it was a little bit tough, you know, because you didn't have that kind of the school feeling, okay, the school feeling. You didn't have the teachers there, your friends, and those things were missing. And that's the same thing these seniors they're going to have. So what would you tell them? Did they have to really prepare themselves that maybe this is the norm of our day, but we still have to work hard to make sure we are on top of our classes, we are on top of our grades?
For me is you don't have to go through this alone. You can always reach out.
Okay.
Like, always reach out. And I know your friends are also probably feeling like they're going through this alone. Reach out to them, because then you're going through this together. And honestly, when your friend is on top of stuff, it's like iron sharpens iron. You're gonna if you're gonna hold her accountable, she's gonna hold you accountable, and you're gonna get more work done that way. Like, I had a really supportive friend, Lauren. That's how we got through astronomy, because our teacher was giving out really complicated projects, and I was very confused. So I would ask her, "How do you get through this part?" And she would ask me how I got through this part, and we would just like build off each other.
Wow, that's so good. Thank you so much for joining us. If you just joined, I'm talking to my own Urepepi. This is my firstborn. Amazing. So this is my first voice. I'm talking to her. She's a senior, and we are just talking about some of the things that was so not normal, but now it's becoming normal because they had to adapt to it. You know, they couldn't graduate, but whether they graduate or not, at least they have their diploma. And they are moving forward, you know, to go to the next stage of their life. So we are just here talking. If you have any senior, let them listen. I think, and also even those who are going to be senior, you know, in the school, the new school year coming, they want to listen. I think it will help them. So thank you so much for joining. Please continue to share the video, tag your friends to come in. I'm very, very grateful that you are joining us. So let's talk about the quarantine again, because that was another thing. I told myself when it gets to a point that I'm just going to take one day at a time, you know, because I am somebody, I remember my birthday, and I'm going to ask you that. My birthday was March 21st, and I'm somebody that my birthday, March 21st, it means by January, I was all out there, okay? I've ordered what I want to wear on my birthday. I've planned all the places I want to go and everything. And as the day was going, you know, getting closer and things were changing, I'm like, oh God, my birthday is going to be such a boring day. But in fact, it's happened to be one of the days that I really enjoy. I was just in the house. I received calls from all over the world. You know, all over the world. I remember one of my girlfriends called me and says that, so what are you doing on your birthday? And I told her, I am sitting in bed and I'm receiving all the prayers from the calls that I received that day. And which was very, very interesting, which was very nice. For me, it was a heaven experience, because if I happen to go out, normally I will miss all those calls. Then I have to call them back. You know, you don't get that feeling of talking to a lot of people at the same time, at the same day. So for me, it was just a blessing. Okay, but how do you really feel about the quarantine itself? Because normally, when it's easy, I think even yesterday when you were driving, you made a statement. It is easy when you decide you want to stay home. But it's not easy when they say you have to stay home. How do you feel about the whole thing?
Well, I'm an introvert, and like, I kind of like staying home.
Okay.
But when it was my choice, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But I never, like, it makes you realize the stuff that you take for granted.
Okay.
Like when my friends used to ask me to hang out and I would turn them down, I was just thinking about all those times I really could have gone out. And now I'm just here stuck inside. I can't do anything. I'm bored. I was so bored. I didn't know what to do. I mean, I like spent my time on like social media and watching Netflix and stuff. But honestly, what really helped me, it was like those Zoom calls that we had to do for our youth service and stuff. We'll always see our friends and stuff, and we'll joke around while reading the Bible and stuff. So that was also really nice, like just seeing people's faces that are not the people in your house. It was just really lovely, honestly. And then me celebrating my birthday in quarantine.
Yes.
I turned 18 in quarantine.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, that was not I was expecting to I made plans to go to Korean barbecue on my 18th birthday. And my birthday was in the thicket of the quarantine where like everything was really crazy and everything was shutting down. And I was like, and by my birthday, they were planning to reopen stuff. But that did not happen. It was crazy.
And I remember that, you know, I even forgot about it. We have some wonderful plans together because I'm like, I'm going to be 45. She's going to be 18. So we were going to Montego Bay, you know, for like a graduation, graduation birthday. You know, so we just wanted to just travel, you know, outside and just go and have fun. That didn't come on. But it's still stand though. It's still stand. Yes. When everything goes down, we will still have that mommy and daughter, you know, Montego Bay, at the beach crossing our legs together. Something. So that was happening. So I have some questions here. Patience says that, Uriah, how do you feel about prom? Not walking on the stage as a child of God. Okay, so let's take that. So how do you feel about prom? It went back, and also about not walking on the stage.
Well, prom, it was kind of weird, honestly. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, because I went to homecoming for the first time in my senior year. And then I was realizing, wow, all the stuff I was really missing out.
Yeah, because you won't go anywhere. She's always home.
I don't go to football games, and I didn't go to homecoming until senior year. And it just made me realize, like, all the stuff I was missing out. So I really made plans to go to prom, because I didn't go to prom junior year because I felt like, what's the point going to prom as a junior? So I was really planning, because I was planning since like freshman year that I was gonna get my dress made. I made designs for my dress.
Yeah, you designed your own dress.
I designed my dress. I went to the seamstress. I told her what I wanted it to be like. Then my friends were like renting a limo and everything, so we were just gonna show up like kings and queens. And then quarantine happened. I was like, oh wow. I mean, it was like, honestly for me, I was going out like as it is what it is type of attitude. I mean, there's nothing really I could do about it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Like maybe later on we could do our own thing. That's what my friends, we just did a little FaceTime prom thing. We got our makeup, we did our hair, and we wore our dresses, and we went on FaceTime and played music, and that's what we did. So
wow, that's very interesting. I mean, I really, you know, it was very, very interesting when all of the things going on. I remember I was talking to the daddy, and I'm like, I'm so sad, and daddy is like, why are you so sad? Are you the one graduate? I'm like, oh no, I'm not. But guess what? When it just gets to my turn, everybody's daughter graduate. When it gets to my turn, I don't have, you know, that. And it makes me sad. It makes me emotional. But guess what? She took it so well. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. You know, thank you. So that was very, very nice. Okay. So another question here says that, okay, it says, Mom Victoria, please share your thoughts with having a daughter living soon for college, and with all we see going on in the world right now, what word of encouragement would you share with other moms? Oh, okay, so this is for me. One of the things that really helped me when it comes to dealing with my children and what they do is I am very, I don't even know how to put it, but I've noticed and I've made my mind that although they came through me, but God gave them to me. So as much as I can to encourage them, to influence them, the best thing I can give to them is God. Show them the way of God. Let them build their own relationship with God, because I cannot follow them everywhere they go. I cannot be there always, but I know that God can be there always. And once they know that God is with them always, it helps with some challenge they're going to face. And sometimes when they misbehave, I always go back to God. I'm like, God, I have a covenant with you, which is a personal covenant between me and God. I don't know what my husband have, but for me, I have a covenant with God concerning my children. So anytime anything happens, I go straight to God. God, I have a covenant with you concerning these children, knowing that you are the one who gave them to me. And I will do as much as I can to partner with you to make what you want out of their life to come to fruition. You know, so it's overwhelming. It's a challenge knowing all that is going on, you know, and so you are pushing them. You know, first we thought about it, she was just going to have a school right here in Atlanta. You know, that, you know, I know that daddy will be there every 2 hours. You understand? But life, things move on. And we can't always keep them like birds. We have to let them try to fly, because they are not going to live with us. I'm not thinking that my children are going to live with me forever. No. I'm thinking as when I was 24, I left home and have to go and get married and go, and now here I am. I want the same thing for them, and even better things for them. So they have to learn to fly. You understand? They have to learn to fly. But at the end of the day, if they are flying with God, then they can soar higher than even what I can do. So it's so uncertain about all the things that is happening, but I trust God. I trust God that God will keep them. I trust God, God will protect them. And I will just be, you know, the normal mom, trying to be normal mom, you know. But at the end of the day, it's 100% God. That's me. It's 100% God. And I know that what God will not permit evil. God will not permit evil. God will not let them go where they need not to go. And God will have a way. The Bible says that I will speak to them, you know, at their hearing. So I trust God that He will speak to them even when I'm not there, that, hey, you know you can't do this. You can do this. So I just leave them to God. I hope it's helped to answer some mom that, you know, maybe you are too tight on, but we cannot be there 24/7. That's what you have to realize. You cannot be there 24/7. And you just trust God that whatever you are putting them, God will make it come true. You know, so that is my a little bit, you know, thing that I lean on, you know, that God will help them to make the best decision, okay? So we have another question here. I like the way people are asking questions. Please, if you ask your question, pin it so it's very easy for me to know it's a question. It says that, congrats. So congrats, Uriel.
Thank you.
It says that you are about to live a new chapter into your life. What are your expectations for the first year in college? Oh, that is a good question. So what are your expectations? Yeah.
I hope it's completely different than high school
Okay.
because I remember the seniors who were giving me tips when I was freshman, and they told me high school was fun.
Yeah.
But I was like, high school is not fun. And so I hope that it's different in college now that I'm like doing a course that I want to do.
Okay.
Because like I'm more of an artistic person in the fashion industry and stuff. And because of in high school, I was trying to like fill out my schedule with all these AP classes. I didn't have enough space until my junior and senior year to actually do what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
And I had so much fun in my junior and senior year just helping out in like the art department and stuff. Like to the point I became the vice president senior year. And now that it was kind of like cut short,
Yeah.
I would like to continue doing that in like college, like going back to the National Arts Honor Society, which I was like a very active member in high school. And I didn't realize how fun it was doing like art and stuff. And it also looks good on your college resumes too. So for all you kids out there, please join the National Art Honor Society. It's really fun. But yeah.
Oh, okay. And one of the things that I also wasn't, I know that sometimes as parents, we want them to take some certain course and we want them to go some certain way. And sometimes we don't get our way, but I personally decided, hey, if you want, that's what you want to do, just do it, because it's better for them to follow their passion than for us to impose something on them. And I've seen that people were imposed to be a doctor and they will finish and they have to come back to what they were really, passionate about, and nurses, and they have to come back and all those things. So I'm like, that's what your passion is. You want to be a fashion designer, just go for it. I mean, she have designed a lot of my actual outfit has been designed by her, and I just need somebody to sew for me. I have a whole book that she have designed that I'm just looking forward to. I wish I know how to sew, because she doesn't like the sewing aspect. She keep on saying, I'm going to design, people are going to sew for me, But when she sew too, she sew very well. But I don't have luck with that. I have luck with the designs, and I have to find somebody to sew for me. So that's another thing too. Let them follow their passion, because I think it's really help when they follow their passion, okay? So thank you so much, Uriel. Another question here, Evangelist. Evangelist says that, Uriel, have you noticed any changes about yourself whilst going through this journey?
Like from like freshman year to like
No,
senior
yeah,
year?
no, about
quarantine
and everything. Have you noticed any difference?
Well, not really. I mean, I realized that like hanging out with family and stuff, I realized that I do annoy people.
Okay.
Like Judah, I was always in Judah's room because I didn't want to be just stuck in my room, and because even when I'm at school, I always have my friends around me.
Okay.
And now that I'm in like the house, it was like no one there. I mean, I would be sitting with Blessing watching Netflix with her.
Yeah.
Even Blessing got annoyed with me because I was always hanging out with her, telling her to wait before she starts watching the show. So like, honestly, I guess I'm more of a person who likes to be surrounded by people, and I realized that more in quarantine. So yeah.
Yeah, but another thing that I noticed that you did was also you really improved on your makeup.
Oh yeah.
Thing. I mean, I have to tell her, I'm like, oh no, if I have to go to a wedding, normally I'll go to Safari for them to make me a professional makeup. And I told her, now I don't have to pay that money. You can do. I mean, now she does a wonderful, wonderful makeup, because out of the time, you have time to get some pieces. I mean, like there was an order in my house every day. It was like a shopping mall. Every day something was coming through the mail. It got to a point, Daddy said that no more ordering from
Yes.
anybody.
Yes. So
You know,
in
yeah.
quarantine,
Uh-huh.
I was blessed on my birthday with a large amount of money.
Yeah.
And spending in quarantine is different than spending when you're not in quarantine because I was just spending money because I had money, and I bought a whole bunch of makeup. Like a whole bunch
Bunch.
of makeup.
A
Like
lot.
I brought a record player. I brought so much stuff. And my mom was like, "Do you have any records to be playing on your record player?"
Yeah,
and
that
I
is
was
another
like,
thing.
"No, I don't, but I will
So
have
please,
some."
if you have record, which
Yes.
how long have we stopped using record? I don't have
It's
any
back,
idea.
guys. We're in retrograde times.
Oh
it's
my
very,
God.
It is very vintage, and my generation likes vintage stuff. So we're going back to the '90s and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
so doing it was very, for me, I learned a lot, and even knowing how to deal with her, more, we have a lot of things in common. Of course, I love fashion, she loves fashion, I love makeup, she loves makeup. One of the things, actually, this hair, she did my hair for me. So for the day that everything was shut down, I haven't been at salon, which is a record breaking for me. So I was doing my own short hair all this while. People thought that I go to the salon every week because I happen to have to be on social media 3 times. I do Woman of Influence, I do church on Friday, and I'm here on Sunday throughout this. I never took a break. So my hair was fresh every weekend, and people was asking me, why? Do you have your hairdresser coming home? Or I'm like, no. I was doing my own hair, and she came in, did this braid for me beautifully, which would never have happened if it wasn't this.
Yeah.
Have you even thought of doing my hair for me?
No,
She
mommy.
picked the color and everything.
Yeah, I did my own hair after quarantine. I
Yeah.
guess I just never had the time to really explore YouTube, and so I was learning a whole bunch of new stuff. So I did my hair. My mom was like, "Oh, that's really nice. Can you do some for me?" So we went to the beauty supply store, like picked out the color, and we just did it.
Yeah, so Pastor Nana says that your gift will make a room for you and bring you before great people. Uriel. God bless you. Order all your steps. You, Pastor Nana, bring her the money to order all those things. Some of those makeups are very, very expensive. And guess what? She loves the expensive ones too. So it's good. But it's good to get quality things anyway. So thank you so much. Please, if you have any questions, let them come. Let all your questions come. We are very, very grateful here. Thank you so much. Please, let all your questions come. So Sister E says that have you started a new hobby in quarantine? Do you start any new hobby?
I didn't really start a new hobby. I just emphasized on the hobbies I
Okay.
had. Like, mommy saw me drawing and painting.
Yes, that is another
yeah,
one too that was very good.
I was sewing up until my needles broke on my sewing machine. So, I mean, I just been doing the stuff that I usually do. Like, I usually don't sew a lot, but I was like sewing a whole bunch of scrunchies and stuff and giving them to my friends when I see them. And I was just like, I got a new set of color pencils and stuff. So
Yeah.
I've been drawing with that and just having a good time in my room, honestly.
Oh, okay. So Pastor Nana says that no worries. She got you. So
Oh,
you
thank you.
can contact
Thank
Pastor
you.
Nana. Yes, but one of the things that I want us to talk about was the drawing, because the drawing too was very, very good. I mean, she was drawing. I mean, she can just draw me, and you would think this is professional. And a lot of people were inquiring about it online, wanted to buy your pieces and all
Yeah.
those things. That was so awesome too, and it all came during this time. Yeah.
I started like an online store, and I started selling on that. And I also started selling some clothes that I didn't want. So I was also making some side money, and you just know, being entrepreneurial and stuff. So I was really having a blast in quarantine, honestly. Like, because I started my online store like junior year, but I never had the time to really post any of the clothes. And so I got my first sale this year in quarantine. And so I really took time to really go into it, start like a website and everything.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you see, it's not bad, and you know, it's not bad. Some people have learned a lot out of this journeys, this season. Some people have improved, and things have worked for some people. And I pray that, you know, if you haven't touched into some things, it just trust God and touch into some things, because some of us, this quarantine has been a blessing. It's a really a blessing, apart from, you know, being able to go anywhere and then, you know, traveling, which I miss. But it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing. So that's a good thing here. Okay, so we have another question here. It said that, do you plan to make more friends as you go through college? Do you plan to make more friends?
For sure, because honestly, I'm going to Ohio. I really don't know anyone except for like a few people and a few family friends up there.
Yeah.
And so I would be glad to make new friends in college, because I heard from some of my teachers that the friends that you make in college are some lifelong friends.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
hoping to make some lifelong friends in college too.
Wow, that's amazing. Pastor Nana wants you to post your website, so I think
Yes.
people
It's on-
can go there. So we will post it.
Yes.
Abby, can you post her website
It's
for her?
on Depop.
It's
I
what?
had to send a link to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. It's what?
It's on Depop. It
Depop.
is.
There's some of the things they say, I don't have any idea. It makes me feel so old.
Yes, so like I like to go to like Goodwill and thrifting shops and repurpose the clothes.
Oh,
like I
okay.
could make a dress out of like some of the shirts and stuff, or make bags and stuff, or scrunchies.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to do during this time. I mean, you can turn it a Ralph.
And I love what you did. You know what you did with your daddy's suit. Okay, so she took her daddy's suit that he has stopped wearing and make another suit out of it. And I'm like, how do you do this? That was really nice.
Yeah, I first like got some of the ideas from like watching YouTube once again,
Okay.
and it took me some time. I had to like iron it and sew it,
Yeah.
but honestly, it turned out really nice, and I wore it on Sunday. So
Yeah, that was an old suit, you know, from the daddy, and now when she's wearing it, you think she just put everything together. She just sewed the whole thing, but she just cut it and make it, you know, another style, and it was really nice. It's very awesome. Okay, so Sister E have another question. She says, although you said you are introvert, I don't believe you know how personable you truly are.
yes,
Does it make you nervous that you will be meeting a lot of new people?
for sure. I realized that I am an introverted extrovert.
Oh,
so
okay.
the people who know me,
Okay.
they know me as this like fun, loud person. But even mommy knows that my junior year, I did not talk to my math teacher all year because I didn't know him, and I already
Yeah.
knew the subject, so I had an A in the class. But I barely talk to people I don't know, especially if I'm in the classroom. It takes like I won't come to you, but if you come to me, I'll open up real fast. So it's like introverted, extrovert.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Yeah, because her junior year, that was very interesting. I mean, a whole year, and she wasn't talking to this math teacher. I'm like, if you're not talking to your math teacher, how do you ask questions? How do you know what he's teaching? But anyway,
I mean, there was
she
no
was
need.
having the A, so
There was
it
no
was a
need.
strange thing.
I mean, he was like, he was 27. He was young. And I didn't know how to relate to that. And personally, I was like, because everyone was always talking to him, I never just took the opportunity to talk. I just did my work. And he always leaves these little notes on the quizzes, like, good job, and smiley faces. And I was like, yeah, thank you.
Okay, Grandmom is here. Grandmom is a well-spoken young lady, a lovely granddaughter. So that's from Grandmom. Please, if you have any question, okay. So how are you going to? I think they said how do people reach out? You know, how did people reach out?
Yeah, a lot of people reached out, especially when we were on Zoom. Like Auntie Mema, one of the ministers in our church, she will always say, "I feel so bad for me because I didn't get to do all those senior activities." And Auntie Mema would call to check up on me and say, like, "How are you doing? How are you coping?" And I'm like, I'm just living. I'm just living through this. There's nothing really you can do, but like just like stay positive, because if you like get sad about it, you're just gonna fall down this hole of depression. So you just gotta stay positive.
Yeah, so it was good you really stay positive. So thank you so much for joining us. We are almost done here, but I want to touch on this briefly before we leave the show today. I know you were born in England, and we went back home for like 2 months, if I still have in my memory, like 2 months. Then we came to the States. So you were like 6 months when we came to the States. So you've been here throughout, that time. And with this race thing that's going on, I know it's a very passionate thing that we all have to, talk about and kind of face it. My whole thing is I keep on thinking about it. And even sometimes when you listen to CNN, when you listen to Fox News, they're turning this thing to be politics. So it's like, if you're Republican, this is how you have to see it. If you're Democrat, this is how you have to see it. But I think it's very, very bad for us to turn these race things to, party lines. We have to take the party lines out of this and see the people that are being hurt, the people that are being tormented. And, when sometimes we say that Black life matter, people think that, all life matters. I know that all life matters. But guess what? If there is a fire in my neighborhood, okay, and my house is the one burning, and the fire truck come to the neighborhood, are you telling me that they have to start spraying from the house in front and start turning a fire which is not on there till they get to my house that is burning? So I know and I believe that all life matters. But guess what? It's a particular house that is burning, and it's burning down, and it's burning and burning, that if we don't take care, it's going to burn to ashes. And that's what, personally, I see it. So this is not politics. Please, I'm begging us, let's take the political party out of this, and let's address what it hurts most. And if we are going to do that, it has to start from even those of us who call ourselves Christians and sit in churches every Sunday and still doesn't see anything wrong with this. I'm telling you, you being white does not make you don't have to carry the plaque that all life, Black life matters because you are white. But your silence is speaking louder that you don't care. You understand? My daughter came here when she was 6 months. And she is as American as it can be because she hardly even go to Africa. So she's just American as she can be. And this thing hits home. Sometimes as a mother, you sit down and they have to go out and you ask yourself, will they come back? That is what I'm talking about. And that's what, if you, maybe because your color is different, you are not seeing how terrible this thing is because your color is different, then I don't think you love God as you are proclaiming you love God. Because God is not a colorblind. God loves everybody. And if this thing is going to stop, it has to start from the church. Those of us who have different color and have refused to see that this thing, this house is burning very, very hard. Uriah, for us to finish, how do you feel about this thing?
I feel like that Black Lives Matter is not a political problem. It's a human rights problem. So if you are countering that all lives matter, you're missing the point. Because if you're saying all lives matter, but Black lives don't, then what's the point? That's not inclusive.
Yeah.
So for me, even when I'm driving, even when I see a police, I'm like, I shouldn't be feeling nervous because they're supposed to be the ones protecting me. But because of all this media here, I have like a certain fear or a certain nervousness and anxiety that they might misjudge me. That's why I don't go out, like, especially when my mom always says, just don't go wearing out everything, because I'll be messed up if someone thinks I'm a thug because I'm wearing sweatpants. I'm gonna go out wearing my nice jeans, my nice shoes, and you're not gonna get you're not gonna get the drop on me saying that I look like a thug. I match this description because I'm Black. For me, it's just like, I feel like it's kind of angering as like a child that the same thing that my grandparents were fighting against, especially Prophetess, because Prophetess used to be in the civil rights movement back in the 60s, is the same thing I had to protest against.
Which is not right.
Like, it's very angry, and I can see why that people are mad and that are angry because, like, the same thing that happened 30 years ago with Rodney King is happening again in 2020 when we're supposed to be progressive and we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to not be seeing color. We're supposed to see personality.
Yeah.
Not seeing color, just seeing personality. And it's just like, it's kind of depressing that you're still seeing color.
Yeah.
And if you're not saying anything, you're on the side of the oppressors. And, like, that's point blank period. Like Martin Luther King Jr. said that there comes to a point in time where your silence is betrayal.
Yeah. And it really makes sense. I think if all of us, okay, no matter your color, no matter who you are, you know, white, pink, red, I don't know. But even all these colors that we have really put on ourselves, sometimes I sit down and I'm like, I don't think I'm Black. Because if you are talking about black is not this color. Exactly. Okay? And the Caucasians too, the white, they are not white. Their color is something else. So they are not even white. Okay, so all these colors that we have put on ourselves, that really make us think that because my color is not your color, you are different than me, and I don't speak like the way you speak, I don't behave like the way you behave, that make us different from each other. That's really is the bottom line that is not right, because I think that if God didn't see anything wrong about creating us in our color, that when we cut ourselves, it's the same blood that you, as a Caucasian person, is the same thing that will come as me, then we are not different when it comes to God. We cannot be different. But it's so much that even in 2020, and it's like Sundays, you have certain people gathering, and you don't cross here, and this one don't cross here. and we take it and it goes on our streets. And it's very, very interesting that the people that our tax money have been paying and taking care of them to protect us are now our killers. And I mean, how? You know, how? You know, the last one that happened here on Friday, I think about it, I'm like, oh my God. So you cannot just have a normal conversation with a guy without not killing. You cannot. Fine, the guy is drunk. What happened if you are the one protecting? What happened calling a Hoover for him to take him home? What happened to just help? But guess what? When you don't see him as somebody that have a wife, a child, somebody that have to go home to the mother, but you see a color, that's what happened. That's what happened.
Yes.
It's sad.
There was a quote that I seen on a protest time, and it said, as a person who has not been trained to de-escalate stuff, I am supposed to remain calm when I am talking to a policeman. When a policeman has trained basically 6 months to not be afraid of things. Like, for me, is when the policeman said, I feared for my life, is like, what were you learning? What were you trained for? Because I heard that it takes a barber more months to become a barber than a policeman to become a policeman, which is very interesting because someone is holding a weapon and one is holding a razor. So I'm kind of confused about that. And also, I would like to hear the police side of things because I just don't understand why my color is like scary to you. Like, I don't understand how I am threatening you in any way or shape or form just by standing there wearing a sweatshirt. Like, it comes to a point that my mom has to talk to my brothers, Kwabena and Judah, about wearing things outside, where someone who's not my color could just wear anything and not feel incriminated or not feel endangered. Like, even me just wearing a hoodie could just give a wrong idea to a police officer, and before I know it, I'm on the ground. So, like, for me, it's what am I to do? And I know there's going to become a point in time where we're going to have to go and talk to Blessing, my sister, who's 8. She still thinks that all is well in the world. And I feel like that's going to be a really depressing topic to talk to. And even with my children, if this problem is not solved, I'm going to have to talk to my kids about this race problem and just telling them that some people are not going to see you as like a person. They're just going to see you as a color.
It's very interesting. And our hope, we just have to hope, just have to continue to pray that God will help us, you know, to make this thing right. But personally, I think that from all United States, from state to state, every police have to be shut down and retrained. I think so, because I was telling my husband, you could see this thing is also coming from the training. Because if you've been trained, what have they been telling you? To go and guess what? Not talk and just start shooting? What have been training you that if somebody is running from you and it's not in your mind to kill the person, what do? Even me, that I haven't been trained, I will know that, okay, I will shoot the hand, they will fall. I will shoot the leg, they will fall. Do you have to shoot where? That they will die? Is that the training they give to them? You know, so personally, I think that everyone have to be shut down and have to be retrained. I think the best thing going forward when it comes to, you know, the police dealing with the community, and it's very, very sad because guess what? Most of the police don't even live in our community. I live in Gwinnett, and I see the car and all those police people park in the neighborhood. That's where they live. Why do I live in Gwinnett and somebody from downtown come and police me in Gwinnett. What happened to Gwinnett people? Nobody want to be a police in Gwinnett. Why did they have to come from another city, another town? Why can't we just let them live among those who live among us, who understand us, who can know that, okay, this is my neighbor. Okay, maybe I know the same school, that child go to the same school, something like that. So it's not like you don't know anything about them and you are policing them like community. How can you police a community that you don't know anything about? That is another thing too.
One thing is like some of these policemen already have prejudices, and especially since we live in the South, some of these prejudices are more blatant than others. Like just yesterday, I was driving and I saw a Confederate flag hanging with an American flag. As my dad like raises a American flag, but like for me is, how does that show patriotism and like show that you love your country by waving a Confederate flag? And for me is like when you're learning in school, the Confederates were the one who separated from their own country and built a country based on slavery. So when you say it is a lifestyle built on who? A lifestyle built on what? Black people. And when they say go back to your own country, yes, I can go back to my own country, but why don't you go back to yours? Because this also isn't your own country. This is the Native Americans' country who y'all kind of pushed aside, squandered against, like moved them and took their land back, give them land, took it back, gave them land, took it back. Then you also like killed them off.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't get it. When you're telling me to go back to where it came from, can you go back to where you came from?
At least we have where.
At least we know
somewhere to
we
go.
know.
So,
We know. Like
anyway.
basically, most African Americans can go back to Africa. They won't know which country, but they can at least go back to a starting point. So for me, it's like when you're waving a Confederate flag, which is very interesting that Georgia's flag is a Confederate flag. But I'm just like,
God, I mean,
ooh, God help us, honestly.
I pray that what is going on now, okay, one of the things that as a woman of influence, I want us to know is as hatred as it can be, you don't want to entertain any hate in your heart. But guess what? If you are hurting, you cannot change. Anything that is, you are so, you hate it so much, you won't think to change it. Okay, so don't entertain any hate in your heart. Let's just pray and hope that God will help us. And this change that we are all crying for will come, and it will be permanent, that all of our eyes will be open, that we can accept anybody. We won't accept people based on their background, their qualification, the schools they've been, and all those stuff. But we will just accept them as who they are, and as a God-created person that is not a garbage. You understand? It's not. They have the same feeling as you. They can feel something. So the words that you say, how you see them, it's all boiled down to make an impact in their life. Let's trust God that the impact we will have with this, our generation, will be greater, and they will grow up to become a very good and impactful, people. I think that's what we have to pray. You were your last word as we finish the show today.
Honestly, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. For the kids who can't go out there and protest, the best thing that you could do is like use your platform. Speak out, because I know my dad wouldn't let me go protest, but the best thing I could do was go on my platform and speak out and
Yeah.
say that, you know, educate. I know sometimes it's not in our place to educate someone how to treat a human being, but some of these people really don't know. So just like help and educate, and that's all I could say.
Yeah.
No?
So thank you so, so much. Today, we have a very wonderful lineup for the whole of this month. Next week, I'm having one of my daughters, a woman in ministry. The next one is going to be a very wonderful show, rare estates. I mean, I'm telling you, with all that is going on, people are still making money and things are working. So you want to take advantage of good things that are out there. The interest rate is very low. If you have any money that you want to invest it. Don't be afraid of the market because it's really going to bounce back. So we have all this, line out for the month. You don't want to miss any. And when we get into July, it's going to another level. So thank you so much for watching us today. Just please go out there and be a very good and influence. Let your words, let your saying, let your being, everything. I know we are living in a very interesting season, and things are hot out there. People emotions are all over because of what we are seeing on the news and everything. But at the end of the day, don't let it get into your head. Just be you. Make sure that you are imparting people in a godly manner, that your words that you say is going to lift somebody up. It's going to encourage somebody. But once again, thank you for joining me today. It was a very wonderful privilege to talk to my own, and just go out there and be a wonderful man and woman of influence. And I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Once again, thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.